Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. And we kind of find ourselves in a bit of a situation with this somewhat of a zombie apocalypse going on. And I'm going to refer to it as that is because you have all these people floating around supermarkets trying to buy toilet paper and chicken and bread, it seems. I was at the local supermarket and I spoke to one of the stock men, and he was telling me they've sold like 10 times more toilet paper than they've sold in the last 5 years. They said we can't keep it on the shelf. It just seems that people are buying toilet paper like there's no tomorrow. I really don't understand it. He says we have trucks of toilet paper coming in and we can't put it out quick enough. So, by the way, folks, there's no shortage of toilet paper, so you really don't need to hoard it. Any shortages are being caused by people buying it all up. He says same thing for chicken and ground meat. He says they can't keep up. They keep putting the chicken out, they're pulling it out of the freezer, pulling it out of the trucks, and they just can't keep up. It's all going out faster then they can put it on the shelves. They got plenty out back. So once again, everybody needs to relax. I'm making this video because I want to let you guys know that the channel is healthy and it's going to keep going. As a matter of fact, I overpaid for this black spray paint wonder junker right here, just to keep stuff coming in and to keep the content going. If anybody is from New York, we're all kind of supposed to stay home. And, not a bad recommendation. The less people move around, the less trouble they're going to be. I've been trying to, excuse the wind, I'll walk backwards. I've been trying to get my truck inspected. And unfortunately, Toyota had nobody there to do the inspection where I bought the truck. And then I've been checking some of the local places, and now they're not deemed mandatory, so a bunch of them have had employees stay home and a bunch of them are shut down. So the situation I find myself in, even though we can move around if you theoretically have some place you have to be, and I'm sure if I'm between my house and the local supermarket with a truck that's out of inspection, I won't have too much trouble. But if I have a New York truck out in Connecticut with one of these sitting in the back of it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that ticket for overdue inspection. As far as I know, once again, none of the states are enforcing a mandatory cars off the road situation yet. Some common sense stuff, other than, wash your hands, wear a mask if you have one, stay away from people, be careful what you touch, and so forth and on. Besides all that other kind of stuff, if things do get ugly, really ugly, one of the tricks I'll use is at the end of the driveway, I'll put one of the cars, I have some hazard tape, and, with a little creative work, I'm sure I can print out a piece of paper that says, quarantine by order of Orange County Department of Health or whatever. Hang that there, then put yellow tape across the front and back door saying the same thing. If anybody is going all, I'm going to rob you, they'll see that and decide to go elsewhere. Then I won't have to use the other means of keeping people from coming in to bother me. I also have a friend who kind of lives in a little bit more densely populated area than I did, who's a bit of a survivalist. He says him and his family, they'll just move in here. And, that way they have access to deer and turkey and whatever else we need to poach should things get that mean and ugly. I personally don't think they're going to go anywhere near there. I think this is just going to, they're going to want people to kind of stay away from each other until the cases grind along at a rate that the hospitals could keep up. Here in New York, last I heard, we had topped 10,000 cases. And the problem is, as you have 10,000 cases, if you have a 20% hospitalization rate, and I think about half of them need to end up on respirators at some point, maybe a little more, you're getting to the point where you're really filling up the hospitals, and particularly the acute care area. So one needs to be careful. We've already gotten phone calls from people who needed a little more help. And as a matter of fact, the last couple of days, we have helped them, but we've also warned them. This is kind of your get out of jail free card. We could come today and bring you what you need, plus more than what you need, but make sure it lasts. And if you have access to Meals on Wheels, whatever else you need, make sure you use that access, because we're not going to be able to get to you for another drop-off until this whole thing is over. Once again, some of these people are a few counties away from me. I've also spoken to some older relatives who are out of state and basically warned them, you better take care of yourselves, because we cannot travel to get to you, right? I cannot get on a plane and go anywhere, and even driving across state lines with New York plates, given that New York is somewhat of the epicenter of this whole mess, I'm not sure how welcome I would be, especially with a truck that has an out-of-state inspection on it. So basically what I'm telling you guys, have no fear, the channel is going to be plugging right along. Around me, directly around me, I'm not aware of any cases other than like onesie, twosies of people who've traveled or people who've been involved in the incidents down in Westchester and Rockland counties. But do remember, Westchester and Rockland counties are not far from me at all. And there's plenty of railroad tracks, whether you're looking at, trains coming up to Salisbury Mills or trains coming up to Beacon that, bring plenty of New York City to me. My kids are both in safe places and prepared and all of that. My younger son is with me up here, and my other son is fine. He's out in Pennsylvania, and he has everything he needs. So let me wrap this up. I just wanted to once again let you guys know everything is going to be continuing as normal. As a matter of fact, if anything, there might be a little higher frequency of videos. Financially, and let me just quickly brush upon the finances. Right now, we are putting as much as possible on credit cards rather than burn off cash. The local banks and credit unions really don't have teller access, and from what people were talking about in the supermarket, it appears as if a lot of the cash machines are running a little dry. They're not filling them up quick enough. I think a lot of that might be due to, hoarding cash, hoarding toilet paper. So right now I'm doing my best to hang on to cash. My wife's piano business is closed, so financially we are taking a bit of a hit. Hopefully that government aid comes through, and if it does, it'll more or less make us whole from what we lose from the piano. If it doesn't come in, things will be interesting. I guess I'll have less income next year and we'll pay less taxes. I don't know. So everything is good here at the Hoard, and expect plenty of videos plus all the other stuff floating around. And I want you guys all, take care, be kind to each other. Don't be shooting at your neighbors because they're looking at property lines, and don't be shooting at people who knock on your door and ask for some help. Try to be kind. But by the same token, make sure you take care of yourself and, everyone you care about. I want to thank everybody for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. We'll be back to normal programming after this. Remember, keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out there and enjoy each and every day. You don't know how many you're going to get, so make sure you get out and have fun while you can. Bye now.